Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today we are going to work in a watercolor journal, and I'm going to make a watercolor spiral, and I am actually making this page to test out some pens that I was sent by a company, ZSCM, and they make pens, all sorts of pens. I am specifically going to be using their paint pens and their glitter pens, or gel pens, which is so much fun. So we are going to play with them, but first I am going to make a spiral. So I wanted to test them on watercolor, because if you use paint pens before, or any kind of pens really, you know that they can be a little bit difficult to use on watercolor. Sometimes they lift, or they're not as opaque as you want. So I thought this would be the best test to see how well these pens work. And I have to tell you, I'm pretty happy with the results. I think that they're a very competitive company for paint pens. There's been a couple of pens that I've tried that people have sent me that I haven't reviewed because I couldn't recommend them. So I felt very comfortable recommending these, and I love how this project turned out. So what I did was I just put down some water, and then I created a spiral. This idea I found by an art teacher on Instagram. I will link her profile below, and she did it with her kids, and it turned out so well. So I'm just showing you a close-up of what pens I'm using. I did three different types of pens for this tutorial. The black and white ones are awesome, and then I'm going to use some gel pens, and I wanted you to kind of see what they look like. Which is great. And then there's 3 sets here, and I'll go into more detail at the end of the video, and I'm really going to test them out. So I'm just starting out with the fat classic paint pens here, and I'm just going to keep building up. But it's great. These spirals are so much fun and so easy to do. I just started out with the warm colors and gradually went to the cool colors, and it's great because it kind of bleeds together, and it's a really fun project. I'm definitely going to make more of these spirals for my journal, but I wanted to really test these out so you could see how they work out. They're really easy to use. So I am, as I said before, I am working on, I think this is a watercolor journal. Yeah, but it's very simple, and I had so much fun. So if you make one of these spirals, please make sure to tag me on Instagram so I can share your work. It's one of my favorite things in the world to share you guys' work. It just makes me so happy. So if you do this, I would love to see it. And you can even message me too. I know some people don't like to share their work publicly, and that's okay too. Or send me an email. Lots of people do. And I try to always respond. If I haven't seen it, then just, let me know. Just send me a reminder. But I love to see your work, and I save all of them in a folder, and it makes me so happy. So I'm just filling this with doodles. You can do this in so many different ways. I just did basic doodles and marks. You can do dots and dashes and V shapes and spirals. It's just so much fun. I'm even going to add words to this too. So this is so much of a fun process. It's very meditative. Like, you kind of zone out. I think this maybe took me 45 minutes to do, but I am a fast doodler. So yeah, so I don't overthink it, and if I don't like something, it's totally fine. I just enjoy it. And I love this pink. Oh my gosh, the pink is beautiful. That hot pink is just so awesome. And of course I forgot that it was a little bit wet. These dry super fast, but I had applied the little dashes in pink a little bit thick. So I'm just using a piece of paper to kind of protect that area so I don't get paint pen all over my hand. But they work out really well, and as I said, watercolor I think is the best way to test. So for the review, I am actually going to show you how these perform on top of media and paints and that kind of thing, because even though there's a lot of reviews, they kind of just test things on paper, which works, but I'm a mixed media artist, so I like to kind of push things and layer things on top. I use lots of mediums and gesso and things like that. So standard paint pens sometimes don't really work for me because I definitely use lots of stuff and lots of layers. And you can even write on top of these with other paint pens and the gel pens too. So I love it. I think they worked out really, really well. So you can stay till the end. There's a discount if you want to buy these, if you use the link below too. So I hope that you enjoy the video. I hope you make a spiral. And like I said, if you want to stick around to the end, I will give you my thoughts completely on these paint pens and also tell you about the discount code. But I hope that you have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye bye. going to be the review of the product. I really enjoyed creating the page using the supplies that were sent to me by this company. So I just want to go through and kind of show you what you get, what I selected from the company. So these are gel pens. The only one that's missing is the actual gold one that I use and the purple too. And they do come with refills, which is great. And they come in this nifty case. So I'm glad that I got those. And then I also got an extra set of the black and white acrylic paint markers, and these work very, very well. They have a really nice tip, and they have basically written over everything that I've tried them out, because I wanted to use these before I recommended them, but they're really good. It's a good price, and you get a ton of them. So there's 10 black and 10 white, so that will last you for a really long time. And then I also got the acrylic paint pens. They have tons of different pens, but I wanted to try the acrylic ones because that's what I use the most. So they come with a bunch of sets. This is the big set. And it does come with a box too. So I got different ones. So I got the classic and the glitter, and then these are the pastel ones. So they're really nice. And then you also get a pack of the paint pens too, 10 black, 10 white, if you get this entire set, which is so awesome. And they have lots of sets to pick from. This is what I picked, and I'm very happy with their pens. As you saw, they were very, very easy to use in the tutorial that I did, and they are so simple. First of all, they're clear, which I like, and then all you do is press down on this nib, and that gets them all juicy. You just want to make sure that you shake them up well, but they write so well. So we'll just shake it just like this, and then I'm just going to press up and down very, very easily. And it's great because these are also double-sided, so you can use a chisel feature too, and it shows you how to use the pens. It's nice, and they come in so many beautiful colors, and I'm super happy. I think that they're much easier to use, I think, than some of the other paint pens that are out on the market, and the ink flows just beautifully. I mean, you can keep going. You only need to pump a little bit. For some paint pens, you have to keep pumping, and they don't gush too. So when you push them out, like, you don't have to worry about losing a whole bunch of the ink, which can be super annoying. And what I love also about these is they layer on top of each other really nicely too, so it doesn't take off the pigment when you're like scribbling on top of them. They dry super quick, and they're just awesome. I really like these. I'm definitely going to keep using them. And the gel pens are great too. They really write over things well, and they have a really nice finish too to them. And they're so smooth to go over with. And I love doodling with gel pens, so I'm happy with those too. I have no complaints about this company so far. So about their products, I think they're really great and definitely very competitive with some of the other brands out there. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to test these even further, because I see a lot of tutorials and people will swap out the colors and see if they're waterproof, which is very nice, but I am a mixed media artist, so I like to see how pens and things write over mediums. So I have watercolor, I have matte medium, and I've let all these dry. Elmer School Glue. I have my favorite brands of paint that I use, cheap, just Crayola, watercolors, matte medium, all sorts of gesso. So we're going to kind of see how these do on top of it. So I'm going to get a black and a white. I'm going to get two new ones. You can see how that goes. And I do like that you can see through, especially the white, right? Because that can be a little bit challenging. And then let's get maybe a darker pink color that you can see. I am in love with this neon pink. It's like the most awesome thing. But maybe I'll get something that will show up a little bit better. This beautiful color. But that neon pink is just like my new obsession. Alrighty, so we're just going to pump in a little bit. And they're good to go. You don't even have to pump that long. Just get this going. Okay, so let's see. Let's try the watercolor first with the black. Do you see how easily that goes over there? I mean, no problems at all. And you can actually see it. And I love the opaque, the white. It's very opaque. It shows up very, very well. Let's try the white on Sharpie. I always have a problem with the white not being very opaque on my Sharpie. So let's try just some. That's actually pretty good. And I think you kind of need to let Sharpie dry, but I'm super happy with that because I get so annoyed because sometimes I don't feel like having black paint out and I just want to work in my journal. So I'm so glad that there is a white pen or paint pen that will actually go over that. Let's try the Deco Arts acrylic paint. And these are matte finishes, which I think everything, especially pens, even if they're paint pens, they work over matte paint better. Okay, and these are waterproof too, so you can layer them on top. This is the ceramic coat. Let's do the cheap watercolors. Oh, easy, easy, easy. Sometimes I have a problem with them bleeding through, but these are working great. Okay, and now let's go with our mediums too. So let's try the matte medium. See how that one goes. Oh yeah, easy breezy. And let's do the Elmer School Glue. Wonderful. And let's do the gloss Mod Podge. We'll do that. And then we'll do the matte one. Because like I said, I'm a mixed media artist, so I work in layers. So, it doesn't matter if it works well on paper necessarily because I'm going to put paint on top of it. I'm going to put medium. So I just think this is just a much better way to actually test pens if you kind of do it in the way that you use them. So these are absolutely beautiful. I love them. And everything looks like it is going just fine. So that's great. So they go over all the mediums that you would use for collage, and the Sharpie they work great over. Look at how pretty and vibrant that is. So I am super happy with that. Let's try that apple barrel. Happy with that. So you see a little bit with the watercolor, it did get a little lighter. Like it's not as opaque as this one. And that happens, but that's probably the best one that I've seen on top of watercolor with paint pens. I think with watercolor it's a little bit harder, they blend in, but I'm totally happy with that. That's fine. You can still see that it's white. I can add some details, which is important. And let's try a little bit of the glitter pins. I just want to show you these layer on stuff. Very cool too. Maybe I'll get something a little darker. So they layer over watercolor beautifully, and they do have a little sparkle to them. Sharpie, pretty good, except this is a dark color. I'm going to use a lighter color so you can see. We can write love here. Beautiful. Over paint, no problem at all. Cheap watercolors, no. Didn't even skip. Gesso, good. Mediums, good. No problem at all. Sharpie. Let's try the Sharpie in a lighter color. Let's maybe do this silver. See how that goes. Oh yeah. So I'm very happy with these. And I'm going to maybe get some more products from them. I love it. So if you want to get a discount for this amazing company, I think that they have really competitive prices, and you will get a 10% discount if you use my link. I will have it linked below in the box, in the description box of this video. So I hope that you will give them a try. Even if it's just that you get the pack of white and black pins, I think that you will not be disappointed at all. They work really, really well. I have used about 5 of these already, and I have not had any problems with any of them. Sometimes when I order like the Posca paint pins, unfortunately, like after a couple of times, they just will not work. So, which is disappointing. So I'm very happy that they reached out to me, that I discovered this brand, and I can't wait for you guys to see me use these in so many ways. And the colors are absolutely beautiful. I will link 2 videos where they actually swapped out the colors, so you can see that too. But I wanted this review to be a little different. I really wanted it to be applied to how we would actually use these materials for layering and things like that. Because if you're watching this channel, you're probably an art journaler or a mixed media artist or an abstract painter, and you want paint pens and supplies that layer easily. So I think these are a very good value and definitely worth the price. But you can try it out and let me know what you think. I'd love to hear, and I hope that you enjoy this review, and let me know if you make one of the watercolor swirls. I love those so much. I think I'm totally going to make at least a few more of those, and they're so much fun. So I'm so glad that you're with me, and make sure you check out the link if you want to purchase anything, so you can get that discount, and I will see you later. Thank you so much, ZSCM, for sending me all these products. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful creative day, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.